May 29, 1453, the last dawn of the Byzantine Empire. One emperor, one city, one final stand. The weapon that would break 1,000 years of history. Mehmed's monster cannons could hurl 600-kilogram stone balls through walls that had never fallen. At 21 years old, Mehmed II stood before the largest army ever assembled against Constantinople. By day's end, he would be called the Conqueror, or he would be dead. By 1450, the Ottoman Empire controlled 3 continents. Only Constantinople remained beyond their grasp. Byzantine Constantinople stood isolated, completely surrounded by Ottoman territory. The ancient city was now their target. In 1444, Sultan Murad faced a unified Crusader army determined to stop Ottoman expansion. Polish King Vladislav led European warriors to Varna. It would be Christendom's last great crusade. Crusader cavalry charged the Ottoman lines. For one moment, they seemed unstoppable. But Sultan Murad held firm. When King Vladislav fell, Christian hope died with him. The battle ended in complete Ottoman victory. European monarchs would never unite against them again. In Albania's mountains, Skanderbeg defied the Sultan with guerrilla tactics that confounded Ottoman military might. 3 times Murad sent armies into the mountains. 3 times. Skanderbeg destroyed them. For 15 years, Skanderbeg proved Ottoman armies could be defeated. In Hungary, John Hunyadi raised the largest Crusader army ever assembled against the Ottomans. Hunyadi planned to unite with Skanderbeg. Together, they would crush Ottoman power forever. But Serbia blocked Skanderbeg's passage. Hunyadi would face the Sultan alone. On October 17, 1448, 30,000 Crusaders met 50,000 Ottomans at Kosovo. Hungarian cavalry crashed into Ottoman lines like a thunderbolt from heaven. Ottoman janissaries held their ground. Elite infantry stopped the charge with walls of pikes. Across the battlefield, Crusaders broke through Ottoman positions. Victory seemed within reach. Then Sultan Murad unleashed his reserves. Fresh Ottoman divisions turned the battle's tide. Overwhelmed on all sides, John Hunyadi made his final stand. He died, sword in hand. The Crusader army was destroyed. 10,000 warriors fell on Kosovo's legendary plain. For 5 years, the Ottomans consolidated their empire. No enemy remained. In 1451, young Mehmed II became Sultan. He inherited an empire at its peak. Mehmed ordered cannon foundries to cast the largest siege guns ever built in human history. From every province, Ottoman armies marched toward Constantinople. Emperor Constantine knew the odds were impossible. Yet he chose to defend his city, regardless. The Byzantine garrison prepared their defense. 7,000 men against 80,000 Ottomans. On April 6, 1453, Mehmed's army surrounded Constantinople completely. Ottoman engineers positioned enormous siege cannons. The bombardment would last 53 days. The first assault waves crashed against the walls. Byzantine defenders fought desperately at every breach. Elite janissaries replaced exhausted troops. The assault continued without pause. At the gates of St. Romanus, the 1,000-year-old walls finally crumbled under bombardment. Desperate citizens tried to flee, but there were too few ships available. In Hagia Sophia, thousands gathered for what they knew might be their final Christian service. On May 29th, Sultan Mehmed entered Constantinople in triumph. The city had fallen. Constantine XI died sword in hand, defending the gates. The last Roman emperor. Ottoman soldiers poured through the breach. Organized resistance collapsed. Byzantine eagles came down from the walls. Ottoman crescents rose in their place. The great cathedral of Hagia Sophia, converted to a mosque. Ottoman soldiers discovered the Byzantine treasury. Centuries of accumulated wealth lay before them. Survivors fled westward toward Italy. The Byzantine diaspora scattered across the Mediterranean. Byzantine scholars carried ancient Greek texts to safety. Classical knowledge found refuge in Italy. Orthodox priests fled with sacred relics. The religious diaspora began. Ottoman officials established new governance. Constantinople became the capital of a Muslim empire. Mehmed established his throne in the conquered palace. News of Constantinople's fall spread across Europe. Like wildfire, Christendom reacted with shock. The Pope called for a new crusade, but Europe's monarchs could not unite. Ottoman control of eastern trade routes forced Europe to seek new paths to Asia. European attempts to reclaim Constantinople failed. Ottoman power stood firm. The fall triggered the age of exploration. European ships sought routes around Ottoman territory. Byzantine scholars brought classical learning to Italy. They helped accelerate the Italian Renaissance. The Ottoman Empire became the dominant power of 3 continents. At 21 years old, Mehmed achieved what all his predecessors failed. Mehmed, the conqueror. Constantine died in defeat. But history remembers his courage and his refusal to abandon duty. For 53 days, Ottoman cannons pounded the walls without mercy. Throughout the siege, Constantine led from the walls. His presence inspired the defenders. Mehmed ordered Hagia Sophia preserved. Ottoman rulers would maintain Byzantine architectural magnificence for centuries. Constantinople became Istanbul. The city transformed under Ottoman rule into an imperial capital. Byzantine and Ottoman traditions blended. A unique cultural synthesis emerged. The fall of Constantinople reshaped world history. Trade routes shifted. Empires transformed. Ages changed. Byzantine scholars influenced Protestant Reformation theology. Greek texts sparked religious transformation across Europe. Ottoman-European wars would continue for 400 years. In 1683, Vienna halted Ottoman expansion. The empire had reached its western limit. The Ottoman Empire eventually transformed into modern Turkey, a new nation from ancient foundations. Modern archaeology continues uncovering evidence of the 53-day siege. Contemporary Turkey preserves and commemorates the conquest. The event remains central to national identity. Western Christianity remembers 1453 with sorrow, a great city lost to Islam. Islamic civilization celebrates the conquest. Mehmed fulfilled prophecies centuries old about Constantinople's Muslim destiny. Scholars still debate the siege's meaning and lasting consequences. Artists across centuries depicted Constantinople's fall. The event inspired countless paintings and literature. Beyond politics and warfare, 1453 held deep spiritual meaning for both Christians and Muslims. Weather and seasonal conditions played crucial roles in the siege's outcome. The siege demonstrated new military technology. Gunpowder artillery changed warfare forever after Constantinople. Constantinople's demographics transformed completely. Greek Christians gradually gave way to Turkish Muslims over generations. The city's physical landscape evolved under centuries of Ottoman rule. Different cultures remember 1453 differently. Historical memory shapes modern identities. Constantinople's siege ranks among history's greatest. Few events matched its scale or historical significance. The fall represents more than military defeat. Empires end. Eras change. Behind grand narratives lay human tragedy. Thousands died. Families fled. Lives shattered forever. May 29, 1453, remains one of history's definitive turning points between medieval and modern. Constantine XI was the final Roman emperor. 15 centuries of tradition ended. The Byzantine Empire breathed its last. 1,000-year civilization vanished. Dawn broke over conquered Constantinople on May 30th. A new historical age had begun. Modern Istanbul still shows layers of this history. The past shapes the present. Europe mourned the loss for generations. Christendom was forever changed. Byzantine refugees carried knowledge westward. They helped spark the Renaissance in Italian cities. Medieval maps transformed. New trade routes appeared. The world's geography was fundamentally redrawn. Emperor Constantine died, defending his capital. History remembers his courage and refusal to abandon duty. Constantinople's skyline changed. Byzantine crosses gave way to Ottoman minarets. Constantine XI, the last emperor, noble in defeat, remembered for courage, facing impossible odds. May 29th, 1453. One day ended one world and began another. May 29th, 1453. A single day that ended one world and began another.